Hello and good evening. For All Mankind, Season 3, Episode 3, All In, is over. But we're just getting started here on Live Long and Podcast as we continue our mission to watch every episode of For All Mankind and talk all about it. Arrests, blackmail, and last-minute crew swaps. NASA's losing grip. Helios is gaining altitude. And Mars is no longer a shared dream. It's a race. A three-way race. And here's the man who is still trying to figure out if Dev just hijacked the future or saved it. I'm your host, Dave Mater. And we got a great panel here to break down this episode once again. When the missions fracture and the stakes turn existential, he's not just asking who's in charge, he's asking why. Our spiritual leader, Kevin Millard.
Thank you, Dave. Hello.
Welcome, Kevin.
Wow, that was very underwhelming.
It is, yes.
Well, hello.
Well, hello. Coming in here next, from Ottawa's quiet corridors to the chaos of launch control, he sees the patterns others miss. Strategic, steady, and never caught off guard. It's Adam Woodward.
Good evening, guys. Yes, the capital's picked up. It's got really busy. People are coming back in. It's interesting to see this town now.
Well, yeah, it's things are moving along here. Good to have you with us, Adam. Coming in next, where's your blurb? Oh, here it is. Corporate takeovers, crew drama, and timeline twists. He's not here for sentimentality. He's here for truth. Our technologist and resident skeptic, it's Jody Simpson.
I'm both of those things, I guess. Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome. Welcome, Jody. And coming in here last, but not least, he's tracking the echoes of Apollo through Helios and NASA's turf war with one eye in history and the other dodging Aleda's arcs. It's Jeff Mater.
I'm just dodging Aleda's arcs. I'm not doing any of that other stuff, but
No.
the Aleda, for sure.
maybe the history part.
Yeah,
If
maybe
there
that's
is-
the part, yeah.
She was a bit of a disappointment tonight.
Yeah,
So
she did something.
This is the 23rd episode overall of For All Mankind, written by Nicole Beatty, directed by Wendy Stansler, and it came out on June 24th, the birthday of my wife Jane, in 2022, 3 years ago. So let's talk about this episode. Spoilers if you have not watched up to this point of For All Mankind. Jody, how was this episode for you?
I was good with it. I thought it was a nice little bit better than average than we've had so far this season. So I think it's a little bit higher up. I really liked it.
Did you? Well, so there's a little bit of a time jump here at the end, where
is. 2 years,
everyone-
I think, wasn't it?
right?
2 years.
2 years, yep.
Yeah. What was, I guess, the thing that stood out the most for you in this episode of all the plot lines? I guess we touched on.
I don't know. It's been a while. I would say, well, I've had a couple days since I watched it a little too early.
Sure.
But I don't know. I think, well, obviously Aleda's thing was probably pretty cool. The torture stuff was a little much.
Right.
But past that,
Everything with the Soviets and
yeah, I really don't like her. I
Margot?
really don't like her. Yes, I don't like Margot anymore. I'm done with her. I just
Well-
I have to pick a villain every season. That's just how things happen for me.
This
sometimes
episode-
many.
This episode is basically about Margot. It was kind of her episode.
It really is. Yeah,
It
it's
is very
simple.
much a Margot featured episode.
But I will say
focused
it's
episode.
got some nice like Bondish kind of moments and stuff like that too. So it's not terrible, but I don't like the character now. I just don't. So
You don't like her
I'm gonna have a
choices?
grudge for the rest of the season. That's just how things go with me. So
All right.
we'll see.
All right.
You're
Kevin,
not going to probably like a lot of characters by the end of the season.
Oh, I already know there's going to be a good chunk of them I'm not going to like, but
The writers
I'm
work
now-
hard on this show. to make us not
Margot
like
is
them.
definitely on my hit list right now.
Yeah.
All right, over to Kevin. Kevin, how was this one for you?
It was great. The space race is back on. We're doing things. Things are happening. They're still doing the interpersonal drama. Also great. It's all great. This the Margot and Sergey in this episode, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So good.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
quite-
sincere.
Right. quite the payoff that I think with this whole Margot and Sergey thing is we'll get into all of it.
And that she's been passing secrets for 9 years.
Right, but
They
all
love
in
that
the,
9 years, eh? It was 9 years with the microphone, and now it's 9 years of Margot passing information.
And it took her 9 years for them to even kiss, and she was doing all this.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
but it's kind of believable with Margot for some reason.
Yeah,
So-
Margot essentially lives in a closet. Like,
yeah, she has
a
no
closet
time.
with an office
She
attached.
barely has a life. The only time she gets away from NASA is when she plays like a piano bar in like the middle of the night, and she doesn't socialize a lot there.
Although I felt so bad for Bill Strausser leaving Margot's office.
Yes,
She's like, obviously she's preoccupied, but he's like, all these years and I don't even get a word.
I've worked here for 30 something years, and it's like, forget even a golden handshake. All
So
right.
he's a character I didn't like that much, but now I do like.
Oh, there
See,
you
I
go.
can be
So it's
positive too.
the stock watch with Jody. It goes up and down.
And I
really
actually
does.
love
It
in
really
that
does.
scene, he even acknowledges the growth of the character. Remember when we did that prank on you? We were a bunch of idiots kind of thing.
Yeah,
It was awesome. I like this episode.
we thought
was
we were
great.
clever and we weren't, and all that.
That's
All
me
right,
most
Jeff.
of the time.
Jeff, just check in with you. I know you've been through the season, but how was this one?
It's a Margot focused episode, and it's a lot of, I think, setup for what comes later. And in that way, it's good, it's needed, but really, I think the overall feeling I get from the beginning of the season is that they're really trying to make me not like these characters. They're trying really hard.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a flaw with every single one of them.
Mhm.
And I
and
guess
it's
you're
not
supposed
minor flaws either. Like,
No.
they're all major flaws.
Well, what's Danielle's flaw?
Yeah, I'm loving who Danielle is becoming.
Danielle's the kind of the bad example. She's
Okay,
like
so
the
she's
one.
the exception.
Yes, but if you go through almost any other character, they all have major flaws. Like, name me another character.
Danny.
Well.
Yeah, well, where do we start?
Jesus Christ.
You get, just from this episode, he's cheating on his wife with a girl in a pool in his old house. He's alcoholic. There's a lot of like,
yeah, like
character
brother
flaws.
wouldn't even pay for like the
Okay.
Hilton or anything. Like, come on now.
Like maybe-
Aleda.
Aleda, that you saw it in this episode. She's way too, just like Margot, is way too focused on work. She doesn't even,
You're seeing her being created.
yeah.
So can I throw in there, because I think I kind of like her in this season, but I do believe that her loyalty is misguided, because she's not going to get the respect or just the loyalty back from Margot. She's just not.
No, never.
I don't think the respect is, or her loyalty is to NASA. I think it's to Margot.
Oh, she's the next Margot. Like, that's exactly what.
Yeah.
She's being bred to be like that,
She-
basically.
She also says that in this episode when
That's
Karen
true, actually.
tries to get her to come over to their team, and she basically says, "Well, Margot let me have this moon rock."
Margot sent me to the moon. Are you going to
Yeah.
send me to the moon? I'm an engineer, right? Like, it's kind of the thing there. Yeah, it really reminded me of, I guess, I don't know how you guys are into wrestling, but back in the day when Bret Hart didn't want to leave the WWF for all the money over in WCW because he wanted to be loyal to the company
Oh,
he was
yes.
with,
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
them to screw him over. And eventually, he went there anyway. So
Big, huge corporations screwing over people. That's unheard of.
That's un-American.
and this
I can't
idea, I guess the idea of being loyal to your company or your, where you've worked.
It's insane because they're not loyal to you at all,
That's
ever.
right.
No.
Right.
Yes,
It's
yes, exactly.
Your company can be nice. There's nothing wrong with, having a nice company and they treat you well and stuff. But at the end of the
Sure.
day, it's still
But
the company.
You don't just have Aleda doing that in this episode. You also have what's the daughter's name again?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly,
you,
yeah,
also, you also have her character saying, like, going to NASA instead of joining her dad and her mother at Helios. Not basically because she's loyal to this idea of working there ever since she was a kid. It was like, it's like kind of when you want to go play for your childhood sports team, you're like,
Right.
it's like this like weird delusion in your head that you've always wanted to do that and you can't unbreak it, even, you know.
Yeah.
And she says that as much in the episode. But and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. It's all how it works out. But like I said, like, and she's one of the other characters, I guess there's nothing bad with her yet either, Kelly, you know, I would say. But there'll be something where you could be like,
I'm guessing
okay,
there will be.
questionable.
She still gets on my nerves sometimes, but I can't tell you exactly why.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
me too.
I don't know. There's just something.
She's
about
Why
it.
does it get
too
on my
well
nerves?
placed.
Why did
No,
they do that whole thing with her family, like her
Yeah.
Me's family? Is that?
Well, I'm
coming
sure that's
back?
coming back up later.
I don't know if it does.
I don't remember if it does.
She's too well put together. Like she's like a therapist in the family,
Yes.
and it's irritating.
It's
That's
kind of
what it is.
Yes, and also all of the other characters of the show have all these major problems, and like her, like she's written that way. She's written almost too perfect,
Yeah,
you know. And the way she, like, even in this episode where she describes herself to take the botanist job, basically instead of the botanist, like where like no, you're not considering this, Danielle, and she goes into this whole spiel, and it's just like that's
you
a
want
good
to take
point.
Matt Damon? You're not taking Matt Damon.
Yeah,
You need someone who's
exactly.
been to Antarctica. You know,
Yeah.
so
I just felt by the like the end of the episode, I'm like, is there anything wrong with her? Like, why, you know, how can all these other characters have all these flaws and we're supposed to kind of judge them as an audience? It's kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
And then this character, no, she's perfect, and so is kind of Danielle. Like she's
Danielle
kinda that
and
way
Kelly
too.
are the two that are kind of the most. Their characters have the least amount of flaws. I would
but
say.
Danielle, it's more authentic. Like
Right.
she's come through the fire. Kelly is nobody. Like she,
Yeah, and she's
Right.
grown up in that house.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's grown up with the two, peak parents.
You're still a
on the
Baldwin
show.
at the end of the day, Kelly.
Yeah.
So,
At the end of the day, you still got raised by those two.
all right. Okay, I feel like Adam's been very patient here. I want to get his take on everything. And
This was like a slower episode, but I did like the pace of it. Every episode there's a Stevens I can't stand, and this one's not disappointing.
right. The other one wasn't even in this episode at all. But
Well, I mean,
I'm still glad Tracy's dead. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, and Gordo. Like honestly, they
No, Gordo was cool.
Good time, Gordo.
Anyway, sorry, Adam. I keep interrupting you.
yeah.
I've derailed him now. Sorry.
There's a few things. I'd rather just get into the episode.
okay, I don't want you to have to respond to Jody's.
You can take
Cheer-
all my
cheering for
intro next
death.
time.
So, all right.
Take
Let's
all my
jump-
intro next time.
Let's jump into the plot of the episode and talk all about it. So the whole cold open teaser section of this episode is kind of like a montage in a way, where we're clipping between different years. It's always at this conference in London between all the space agencies. So we start at the 27th one, which was kind of like teased at the end of season 2, where we saw Sergey, and are you going to go to the conference, Margot? And we can meet up here. So 1984, right after the events of season 2, where they were first meeting up there at for the conferences. This kind of flirtmance which had started even in Houston in season 2 is continuing here, but it's still kind of very professional at this stage, right?
I was so excited to see that hair again.
Yeah, me too. I thought I missed
And
it.
then I'm like, oh, sweet, she figured it out. And then I'm like, oh, it's a bloody montage, damn it. So
Yeah. So over a court, like this was a long game that the Soviets and using Sergei were part of. Sergei is not exactly a willing participant in all this either. He's kind of being coerced. And then we flip to 1985. Where the next stage is happening. Every year they're talking about different things, having more drinks. Their relationship is growing over this time too, right? As they're spending these like a couple
at
days
a
every year.
glacial pace.
At a glacial pace. But with someone like Margot,
even the Titanic could have avoided it.
you buy it, right? You buy with somebody like Margot that
Yeah.
that and these two are workaholics, and they have all intellectually all this other stuff in common. So you can buy. I remember the first time I was watching it. I knew about the Soviet thing at the end of season 2, and I was kind of rooting for these two. Then we get to, I guess this is a couple years before the events of season 3. Now Sergei's grown the goatee. Margot's got that terrible haircut that every mom had in the 90s. And she's good. I don't know what they're talking. Liana.
She's talking about aliens, I think.
Yeah.
Spacers.
But this glacial pace is starting to thaw a little bit. As we see in this particular time, Sergei held the elevator open a little longer, and Margot wondered what that meant.
At year 8.
At year 8. Finally, we get to year.
You're right. Now that Kevin's put that in
this would be year
perspective,
8.
my God, this is
I guess
slow.
that was year 7. Now we're at year 8. The year before the events of season 3. 1991, where Sergei and Margot in the elevator, or we get in the elevator here, and we see as they're heading up, there's this awkwardness, where he finally kind of touches her hand a little bit, and then she kind of smiles, and then just as that started to finally.
The fire,
Flames.
put it out. Jesus.
I know, it's smoking. But then they get interrupted by this guy in the elevator who knows who they both are. And so they kind of, break from that, and they're kind of just being very awkward there in the elevator. Until I think Sergei gets off at his floor, and Margot's just terrified. I don't think Margot's had many relationships, guys.
No.
No.
I'm not sure this isn't the first one.
This is going to be the
She
first
just
one.
looks at him and goes, well, go.
Well, go. It's your floor.
Could have been the 40-year-old virgin, honestly.
Yeah.
Her relationships with men too. Let's review. Her first relationship when we first meet her is with Werner von Braun.
Right.
Not exactly a guy that with a a clean past. And then now she's with this guy, and he seems like a genuine guy, but he's being blackmailed and threatened with his life. These are not normal relationships. It's kind of the point I'm making with Margot, and so I kind of cut her some slack, but at the same time, it's a lot of it's like her personality is kind of what's
and we also know about the difficult relationship she had with her father while he was alive. So but yeah, she's never really found time for any of that in her life, and that is our teaser to get our title card all in, and into our credits. So then after the credits, we head over to Houston, where they're having a meeting. This is reacting to the news that was at the end of the last episode that Helios, under Dev and Ed Baldwin and Karen Baldwin, they're going to Mars in 1994, not 1996. So NASA is freaking the hell out because they know that they're going to be charged here with going back sooner, and Margot does deliver that news.
So this was just irritating to me as well, because when they're forced, they can actually move fast. And
well, that's what's implied here. Now, Bill is making all these comments that, our whole plan was to launch all of our equipment to Mars in 1994, and then when our mission gets there in 1996, all that stuff would be there, right? So that is the big challenge that they're not quite sure how to get around. I think it's eventually Aleda who has this brilliant idea. She's like, what if we launch that equipment at Venus, use a gravimetric slingshot maneuver to put that stuff and get it actually to Mars ahead of our crew?
What they should do is do that, time travel back in time, and be the first ones on the moon.
And then go save the whales.
And then save the whales.
But
if time, find out about God.
And theoretically, this sounds great. Although you just know how careful and precise NASA is, and it's I guess if they had this political pressure from someone getting there first, I guess they could move to Adam's point. But this maneuver to Venus has never been attempted before. It's very hypothetical. You could totally screw everything up in one maneuver here. We also see, guess what? Danny's here. He has joined the crew under Danielle, the other Danny, and is, at this point slated to be her basically first officer for the mission to Mars. So that's all developing here as they're trying to figure out can they get their crew together in time and all the training done and all the logistics. But finally, like after a latest suggestion, they do decide they have basically a plan here to make this work. So all of a sudden it's okay, go. And there's just chaos there in the boardroom as we kind of move away from that scene, as all of NASA is trying to now figure out how they're going to do this. They, basically something you were planning to do in 4 years, you're going to have to do in 2.
Yeah, I'm sure that council that you've formed that's going to be like judging astronauts and stuff, I'm sure they're going to let that all happen in 2 years.
Right. Or you might, well, yeah, this is the problem with like not having Molly there at this point either, right? And Molly would have decided if Danny was going to be on this crew or not, right? But now I guess it's up to Danielle and Margot, I suppose.
And Molly's doing the best thing she can do, which is sit in a hot tub and smoke a joint.
Yeah, exactly. Stick it.
The woman knows how to live life. Let's be honest.
Let's face it. We then see we got the Soviet announcement comes next. We haven't really talked about it, but this is, if it's not obvious, the Soviet Union is still going in 1992 in this timeline. It has not fallen like it did in 1991 in ours.
And
so
why would that be? That's it. Like that's not.
Well, no, they addressed that. Remember, they said last season they had got expansion in Central America. They owned like Mexico. They had.
They had way more influence in this timeline, partly because they were on the moon first, and they've kind of kept up with the U.S. in terms of a military industrial complex a little bit more efficiently than they did in our time.
Yeah, I mean, if they had nations that were supporting and actually funding and actually had product to give them through this hard time, they might have lasted longer. So.
Yeah, I did find this like we hear the translation of what Gorbachev is saying here. It's Gorbachev, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like, we can't let capitalism go to Mars. We got to stop this. So we got to send our mission next. And
for the workers of the world.
The workers of the world need to unite, and head to Mars. So we get all like the race to Mars is being announced. We see the presidential debate that's happening at this time between Bill Clinton and Ellen Wilson, where Bill Clinton doesn't like how much it's going to cost, and Ellen Wilson slams him.
Guys, I was curious about this. Bill Clinton actually proposed to cut $13 billion from the federal service. But out of that, like there was 2,000 jobs just from NASA and another, like, I think 5 billion. So he was definitely doing that in 1995 anyway.
No friend of NASA, Bill Clinton.
Basically ran as a Republican. You know, Bill Clinton.
Well, I mean, what he said was, I got to cut this money so I can cut the taxes to the middle class.
Right. Basically, yeah, because that was kind of their economic model under Clinton. So Clinton gets slammed by Ellen Wilson. She's like, NASA brings in more money than it spends, and you don't, blah blah blah. And she, it's when he calls her a senator. I'm pretty sure that clip was taken from when Bill Clinton ran against Bob Dole, who was a senator, right? Because versus like when he ran against George H.W. Bush. Assuming that's true.
That makes sense.
We then get we see the Phoenix, the ship of Helios, and just like how they've turned Polaris, the old space hotel, plus they've attached all these other rockets and things to it to make it into the Phoenix. And we just see that the sheer size of this thing, it is massive.
It's got a big butt too.
Yeah, like it just keeps going and going and going.
Look at that pedonkadonk creep there.
I do like though that this ship accentuates the fact that things do not need to be aerodynamic in space.
No, they don't. Not at all. Right?
There's no air.
There's no air.
Exactly.
But a lot of times, you like that's kind of the thing with Star Wars is all their spaceships look like airplanes, right? So, and that's kind of not really what it needs to be.
It's kind of what I liked about
Star Trek too.
Yeah, it's what I liked about Battlestar. It didn't have like most of the ships were just bricks, and they had They weren't
need to work in atmospheres and stuff like that. Yeah. So we then see Ed is getting the tour here from Dev, along with Karen is present as well. He's seen his ship. I just want the other thing too about this centrifugal force gravity. I just watched a whole video about this and how it would work, but it would be very disorientating to be on a centrifugal force gravity. Like basically gravity would be different at your head than at your feet, and there'd be all these other kind of technical challenges.
The fields are
with it.
reversed, basically. Yeah.
Right, and it would work, but it wouldn't be. You wouldn't feel great.
You wouldn't enjoy it.
You wouldn't enjoy it.
You wouldn't want to go to a hotel that did this.
No.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Exactly.
We see Karen is kind of
Danny doesn't die. That's what went wrong.
Yeah.
Danny saved everyone. Remember?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So
the booze helped him.
It did.
Ed argues.
Karen's still feeling that trauma from her getting, I guess, her role in Polaris getting a few people
I
killed.
thought she was really looking into the elevator where Sam was killed here.
Yeah,
Sam
that's
was
exactly
killed.
what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's looking where Sam was killed.
That was where Sam was. Yeah. Or an elevator similar. I don't know if that's
Similar.
exact.
Her not husband, who we all thought was her husband.
Right, exactly.
It's true.
But her ex-husband is looking around. He thinks that this is pretty nice. The Helios bridge that they've built here, lots of screens,
Lots of
everything.
space.
Lots of space. He's even got a captain's chair in the middle of the deck.
Yeah.
So,
This reminded me of Archer.
yeah.
I actually kind of thought he was going to hate this when what is it? Dav went into his
Dev.
speech about being in the tin can, and I felt like that was pretty disrespectful to Ed at that point. To be, he's
yeah.
a pioneer of that space program, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, and he
I
was
thought
like,
the
"Don't
way-
worry." He's like, "I'm gonna need a few pilots, whatever, and all this kind of stuff." And he's like, "No, you don't. We got autopilot. It's gonna work fine." And he was like,
Oh, no. You're forgetting the most important line. Poets.
"Oh yeah." He's like, "Well, we need room.
Poets.
We don't need so many technical jobs like pilots and engineers. We need poets and artists." And he's like, "Listen, I'm not taking any damn poet to Mars. Like that's just."
Yeah, you look at both their faces there. Karen too. They're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Speaking about.
He's like,
You're
"It's just
out
an
of your-
idea. It's just an
This is
idea."
like this is the good old boy versus the visionary. You know what I mean? Like it's
But he makes a compelling safety argument too. He was like, "If
sure.
if something goes wrong, we're gonna need trained astronauts who know what they're doing, not a poet."
And he's 1,000% right here, because he's like, I need control of everything, because we're millions of miles away. 8 minutes. I need to be able to do stuff.
Can I say an argument? That ship is massive.
You can fit a lot of people on this mission.
Yeah, so I
yeah.
feel like, and I don't know how many people actually end up going, but like it feels like it could be like a city, like literally a movie.
Do you
city.
Yeah,
really
like-
think though? Like, would you want to be that poet that goes with Ed?
Right.
No.
2
No, I'll go
years.
send them on the second mission,
Yeah,
or something like that.
2
But,
years in space with Ed, like making fun of him.
maybe spend a little less on your gourmet meals and
Wolfgang Puck.
Also,
Okay,
he
fine.
says artist and then goes poet. Seriously?
Yeah.
That's
that
going to
even
move
an
us
artist?
forward. Someone to say fucking nice things about Mars. Fuck off, a poet.
It's not. And then we see Dev's like, "I think I made a mistake," and we think he's like gonna maybe fire Ed. But
I
he's
never
like,
thought that.
No, I never thought that in a minute.
my pilot needs my commander of this mission needs everything he needs, and we need to restructure and rethink everything. So Dev willing to be flexible, past his.
Yeah, I didn't
original-
think I'd like that character, but so far I'm
Should-
okay with him.
Should he not have had a vote with everyone on that decision?
Probably will when he gets back. He's like, let's ask the poet for their vote. So then we head back to Houston, where we have a simulation here with Danielle and Danny, where they are, preparing to, I guess, land on Mars here in this simulation, and it's not going well. Danny tries to, do it manually.
One thing, why did they put these two characters together with the same fucking name? Why couldn't they just come up with another name for one of them?
I think. Well, I think the answer might be that they
I think one of them's going to be dead soon, so don't worry about it.
I don't know if they knew
That's my guess.
when they did season 1 if like Danny Stevens was going to become a character in
Yeah,
season
that's
2
true.
and beyond.
Yeah.
But he can't just
Right.
change his name.
And Danielle was already established. But it's also just what happens in real life sometimes. Sometimes people have the same name and or similar names. I know it's
Yeah,
confusing.
but I don't want that in my TV.
I get it. It's hard on the podcast. So I'm like, Danny this,
Yeah.
Danny that. But which Danny am I talking
Well,
about?
if her
So-
nickname wasn't Danny, it wouldn't be a problem. But her nickname is Danny.
Right. Well, maybe not anymore. I think I got to start just calling her, at least when she's ever around Danny
Yeah.
Stevens.
Just
I gotta
call one good Danny and one bad Danny.
that. Well,
We
no,
already
exactly.
know which one's the bad one.
Look at Jody just cutting to the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. Well, bad Danny crashes the simulation and gets them all killed. He seems
Yep,
a little.
that's what bad Dannies do.
Good Danny says maybe you should take a walk and get some air or something, and cool your jets. He talks about how his new wife wants to buy, or they're buying a house and they want to have a kid. But
No, he goes,
Danny
she wants one of those too.
wants
That's
one of
what
those
he says.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we know that Danny Stevens is actually in love with Karen. He's not totally into this marriage with whoever. I can't even remember.
No, that's pretty apparent. He isn't into the marriage,
yeah, or any of it,
especially
right? So-
come later in this episode.
Yeah. So he heads down. As he comes out of NASA, what does he look up and see? A statue of his parents, Gordo and Tracy Stevens, killed.
They must have 1,000
Oh,
images, and they
God.
had to make that one.
Those are some suits, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best.
I don't.
Matthew.
Do you think Danny and Jimmy had to sign off on this?
No.
No.
probably not.
Margot
Not at
probably
all.
decided
Margot decided. Yeah.
because she decides everything.
That makes more sense on why these are these.
It's the Russians. The Russians did this statue.
The Russians.
They were pulling the strings.
What you don't know, Danny, is that your parents hooked up moments before this. So there's some nice.
And that wasn't the only time they used duct tape.
Wait, they hooked up?
Yeah, they hooked up. They hooked
Yeah,
up
they
right
hooked
before
up
they
just
both
before.
died.
Oh, I didn't know they had that. Oh, I didn't. Really.
Yeah, that's why they were
hooked up, but
together
then
in
they
that
were
room.
talking, and that's why they were in the same room. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to give Gordo one last nice thing before they killed him,
Oh, I see. Okay, I
So-
missed that part.
and then Tracy too, I suppose.
I miss Gordo.
Anyway, we then go over to still at NASA. Kelly's here. Kelly now with her adult outfit in the 1990s thing. She comes to see Danielle, and Kelly.
Good Danny.
So this
Good
was
Danny.
interesting to me too, this whole dynamic. Give us the room. So rather than going to another office where they could quietly talk, they kicked everybody out of this big giant conference room.
Mm-hmm.
Danny's the commander.
Yeah.
She gets what she wants.
Yeah, Danny is
Makes
the commander,
sense.
exactly. Good Danny.
It's
So
rude.
So Danielle had assumed that Kelly would be joining her father and mother at Helios, but Kelly says, no, I want to stay on this mission. I want to stay at NASA. And she says, I'm the best person for the job. And she kind of convinces Danielle that's correct, that she's the best scientist to bring instead of this botanist guy instead. So anyway, that's kind of that. And then we head over to the outpost next, where Danny Stevens is getting some drinks, but not with his wife, with some young woman at the bar, who I guess doesn't know he's married, but she knows that he's the son of of Gordo and Tracy, which we see a photo of them in the outpost here from the old days. And all
I'm not sure she's that curious as to whether he's married or not.
maybe not. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
she
what-
seemed upset about it after.
She seemed more upset about the cops than anything
Yeah.
else.
Well,
So-
she was like, "You told me this was your house."
right.
I think she says, "Yeah."
Yeah. But then Danny Stevens catches Karen coming into the outpost, which makes him all clam up and want to get out of there with the young woman as soon as possible. But Karen's not here for Danny. Karen is here for Aleta Rosales, who's here working at the outpost with her burger and fries.
Hey,
Um,
at least she goes out of the actual office.
Yeah. She has to eat
Not
sometimes.
home. But
Not
Home. Not home. No.
Not
Her
home
dad
with
and
her
her
father, husband, and son. Right?
Well, her husband seems to whine all the time, and her dad's an asshole. So
And
You
the
know,
kid doesn't
husband
care if he
can't
flies
blame
the moon.
husband. Her husband is justified in his whining, though.
yeah.
she won't acknowledge that her dad is has got Alzheimer's.
Is it Dick?
And
And
he's
has
making him
Alzheimer's,
take
yeah.
care of him.
Yeah,
Like,
and her husband makes a good point when he's like, "Look, you know that money would really help our lives." You know, she goes, "I don't care, whatever."
Only
All right.
white families hide their parents.
Get people to take care of their families. Because we find out that
You've convinced me.
Karen's offering Aleda the chance to come to Helios, and she's like, I know you're making about like 55,000, I think is the number that's given here, which is, I guess, in 1992 money, not bad. But
No, that's damn good, actually.
right. But she's like, but you're working like 18 hours a day, so you're technically making minimum wage. You're making less than the waitress.
This is
in
the
a
wrong
sense.
kind of pitch here.
Right.
Like, she should have gone after her ego and said, "You can make a real difference in real fast time," and rather than the dollars, she should have gone after the things she can change.
Yeah, well, it's a good point.
Doesn't have
Yeah.
to go-
I'm not sure Karen knows her well enough, though.
No, that's my
to be able to
point.
do that.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She doesn't know her well enough. Like, we know her better. I mean, and Jeff really knows her well.
Yeah, great.
Jeff has her poster.
I want to point out though that Aleda, we didn't need those first 2 seasons because this is not the same character.
Exactly.
No, it's
She's not even close.
not even close.
So
Doesn't even look the same.
she could have just started this season.
Especially the first season, they really it's a different actress, but like she seems like it's a complete. They were going like a different way with her at first, and then this actress got the role, and then she's like, "Well, I want to do this."
Right, because the girl who plays her in season 1 is so different, right? Than her. Like the season 2 Aleda, I think just annoyed.
That's
a
what
lot
I
of
really
us.
mean. Is this Aleda does not resemble season 2 Aleda, even though it's the same actress.
Yeah, very
That's
different.
true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But Aleda says she turns Karen down, says she doesn't want her offer. She's, let me show you something. That's a moon rock. And Margot is the reason that I got to have that moon rock. I'm basically saying she's loyal to Margot, just like Brett was loyal to Vince McMahon in my wrestling metaphor. And she's not going anywhere, even for twice the amount of money. She's been offered $100,000 a year, and she would be like the head of like the program over there, right? She would have a major. I think she basically is turning down the job that I think Bill will accept instead.
We'll take, yeah.
We'll take.
Yeah,
instead,
he takes
right?
it, yeah.
So Karen goes on her way, and Aleda is goes back. Then we
But
catch up with
she's
Dan.
also not like and Jeff, you and Kevin, you guys have said it. I mean, she's not thinking of her family. Like, you're talking double pay, stock options. Like, this is very positive.
Oh yeah, the stock options. I forgot about that. Like, it was a very nice offer. That and knowing Dev, you probably could have negotiated that up. If you want.
Yeah,
something
he seems
more.
to just give you whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, he will
whatever
make you
want,
happy.
yeah.
Right, but Aleda turns it down. So we catch up with Danny Stevens, who is he's in the
That
pool,
Danny.
and we recognize this pool. This is the pool of his family home, right? So it's not completely explained that they don't own this house anymore to us at this point. So but
I just figured he was living there. That's,
I was like, he
It
would
didn't
have
even occur to me that he wasn't.
It didn't either, yeah.
or he owned it after his parents died. He just never got rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's what I would have thought would have happened.
Sentimentality.
Because the guy was already making bank at that point. Like he was in the military, but he still got a paycheck, so he could have easily afforded to keep the.
He presumably got whatever life insurance would come from his parents, plus his mother was married to Sam, who was
Known an
also
insurance
wealthy.
company.
No, she
though.
wasn't. She wasn't married to Sam.
No.
Yes, she was. Tracy
She
was.
was.
Oh, Tracy was. Sorry.
Tracy
Oh,
was.
Tracy was. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
His
No,
lover.
no, no.
His lover.
Not his lover, his mother.
Not his, exactly. So we got to keep it all straight. Look how many beer cans that Daddy has ripped through here. Quite a few. Well,
Yeah, but it's American beer, Dave. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So
All right.
it's basically
Anyway,
water.
in the process, somehow Danny drops
He's swimming in it.
he drops his wedding ring at the bottom of the pool and has to go get it. And he's swimming down. I was like, yeah, anyway, he hears stuff above, and then all of a sudden the cops are there. And she says, I thought you said this was your house. We then clip over, and all of a sudden we see the outside of the Stevens house, but
Yeah, no, that is his house.
but it's not anymore.
But
So presumably, yeah, they sold it after their parents died and whatever. So, so this cop is then talking to Danny. He's like, "Are you in any relation to Gordo Stevens?" And he's like, "Yeah, he was my dad." He's like, "Oh, we knew about your dad. Good time, Gordo. I never had to pick him up myself, but he had like a whole reputation all around town, and like father, like son."
Well,
sometimes.
I think we saw him brought home a couple times
Yeah.
in season 1. So
And I love this too. The cop is like, "Don't worry, we got you. Don't worry,
We
you
got
don't have
protocols
to
for
go to jail.
this."
You got
You're white and you're famous. Oh, we got protocols for you. Don't worry.
some
So,
things never change.
Right. Well, yeah, like I don't know. Basically, they were swimming in some guy's backyard. Not the best thing, but it's hardly.
Well, I like when they said,
It's not like a federal crime.
No.
it's like,
He's
in Texas, if you see somebody in your property and you shoot them dead, or sorry, if you shoot
Yeah.
them, they got to be dead because they can sue you.
Otherwise, yeah.
So
Double tapping isn't just for zombies then.
instead of taking Danny to jail, they called NASA, JSC, and they said, "Come get him." And who has to pick up Danny Stevens? Danny Poole.
Good,
Who-
Danny.
Good
Good
Danny.
Danny.
This is
Who
like mom. This is like
this
mom
is
coming to get
this is
you.
like your mom is like,
Yeah.
"I'm just so disappointed in you." She's known Danny Stevens, since he was very young, since he was a child, basically.
Just like Karen.
Just different than Karen. Different than
Do you
Karen.
you think he's going to get infatuated with Good Danny as well?
Right.
Seems
But-
to go around Danny.
Yeah.
Danny has had this battle with alcoholism ever since Karen broke his heart, basically. And
I love that it's Karen and not his parents' death that set that up.
Yeah.
well, maybe a little bit of A and B. but-
No, it's A.
His parents died.
It's yeah.
yeah, I think he's over his parents. He seems to be more fixated.
But
on
honestly,
Karen.
like you got both parents who are completely uncontrolled.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, like,
they were both
Yeah.
off their rockers.
the
yeah.
apple don't fall
yeah.
far.
Exactly. The apple doesn't fall far. And Danny's
Right.
doing exactly what Gordo did.
Which
is
Gordo
exactly
season,
puts
this is Gordo season 1.
This
Yeah.
this totally confirms what Jeff was saying though. Is Kelly should be an absolute mess. Like
Yes!
an absolute mess.
Yes!
And she's not.
No, very
She's
well
not-
adjusted.
She isn't blood, so I mean, maybe like when you say the
It did-
apple.
Yeah,
doesn't
so
fall
maybe it's a
far.
genetic
she
thing.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
She should definitely
Yes, but
not be
kids
taking
are
her
usually a
clothes off
product
around
of their-
Karen.
Yeah. Kids are a product of their positions and situations, Not
I love this
necessarily
moment
blood.
where Danny Stevens tries to light a cigarette and Danielle's like, "You won't smoke that, in
was
here."
so good.
Yeah.
Jeez, I almost threw down my smoke. I was like,
Yeah, you're right, Daniel. No, sorry. So anyway, she decides that this is no good. She's taking off his flight status. He's not coming on her Mars mission. He needs to go to AA and get his life sorted out, which is not what Danny Stevens wants to hear.
She
But-
should not have had this conversation that night with him either. It would have waited.
And also take away all of his firearms.
Yeah.
This guy was in
Oh,
the
he is-
Marines, was he not?
he's
Or
still
Navy?
on
Navy,
track
Navy.
for murder.
Yeah. He still has a sidearm.
He does, yeah. Anyway, so Danielle, she's so pissed off at this whole. Like, you picked him, you knew his history. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess you thought he was clean. So we
She's
see
like, why do Stevenses still screw me every time they can?
right. We see Danny Stevens get into bed with his wife, and there's kind of this sad moment. She's kind of oblivious to the
I
whole
hate
thing.
what they've done with his wife. Why not give her a personality?
Yeah,
like, why
she's
give her
no
this
personality.
like
Stepford
oh, God, I
wife
hate it.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Well, I think they're also doing that though, just to emphasize how
but sure.
terrible he is, because
Yes.
she really is like an absolute blessing to him.
Right.
But,
She's
yeah,
kind of
they-
like meant to be as a perfect as you could imagine. I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
What's
Like,
wrong
he's
with
got
this guy?
everything, but yet he's doing
Despite
this,
the lack of personality, I guess that's the one bigger imperfection.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
personality is
Karen.
important.
I
no
think it's
Karen.
yeah.
Even
I
the
think
one at
that-
the bar had more personality than his wife.
Right.
Or maybe it's just.
I'm pretty sure the blanket that's over him right now has more personality.
Anyway, then I think it's. Oh no! Now we catch up with Leda and her husband the next morning. They're getting dressed for work, I guess. And he's like, "You think you could have talked to me about this offer before you turned it down?" whatever. But we kind of alluded to this
Yeah,
conversation.
you're right. He's not a whiny. She's an asshole. You're right.
It's she was a lot of things about her not being there, working too long hours.
She just can't face that her dad is declining.
Yes.
Like,
Well, I think that's hard for
face it.
anybody, but
But she's putting it off on her husband to deal with
Yeah.
it, and
Right.
she's not.
she's
facing
like,
it.
if I'm not there, I don't have to deal with it. Yeah.
He said yesterday your dad got lost coming back from the park, and there's been he
And
leaves,
and he had the kid.
he leaves the stove on twice a week.
And the
Yeah, my
worst thing,
kid
she
still
says
does
the
that,
worst thing. She goes, "I haven't seen any of that."
Yeah,
Like,
because you're not here.
Just
Of course
listen to
not.
him. He's there all the time. Listen to what he's
Yeah.
fucking saying.
You're never there. Maybe that's why you haven't seen it.
Right.
Yeah, when she says at the beginning of this conversation, she's like, I don't like you sometimes. I don't just get rid of you, because he says like, oh, you don't like Nasa sometimes. Like, why don't you consider this offer? Like, I don't know. It's not exactly.
Yeah, she's like, you work you every day. You complain about working with idiots, and like you have to work too long hours, and you're underpaid. And this would be a new start maybe, and she turns it down, right? So
Fine to turn it down, but to
Right.
not even consider what he's saying and not even
yeah.
She's a jackass.
Well, like, and that's like, again, this is the point. It's like, I think the show is trying to tell us that in order to be this brilliant astronaut or this brilliant engineer, you kind of need to be a jerk, and it's not true.
not
Like,
true.
I don't think that, but I think that's kind of, TV shows do this all the time, and they kind of like, they kick the virtuous person down. They look, and Danielle is kind of that character in the show right now. And like, I think like she has not really been given her due, and that Margot had to fight for her last season, and you see that all these different things occurring. And I think, it makes you feel that way when you watch it as an audience member. You kind of go, why? That's not fair. That's not right.
Yeah,
Like,
but this is what you would do if you're watching real people in real life too, right? Sometimes. So, we then see Danny's wife. What's her name?
Amber.
It doesn't matter.
Amber. Amber's making lemonade, and she's making the perfect dinner here for.
And this is supposed to be the 90s, right?
Yes.
yes.
What the fuck is this?
It
Like-
kind of, yeah. Well, the other.
Well, like, did none of your friends' moms were like this one? Like growing
No.
up.
All my
No,
friends.
I had a
moms,
friend whose
they all-
mom
they
was
all
like
worked.
that.
Yeah, they
They're
all
all
work.
latchkey kids.
Yeah.
Not well. I don't know. Like
My mom never did this, but
I guess I mean, my mom, I wouldn't put it in this category, but like I definitely knew other like housewives like her. Like I would say,
I didn't have a single friend with a mom that was a housewife.
typically
They all work.
rich guys would have wives like this. But
That explains it. I was poor. I only knew poor people.
But you know what, though?
all right.
Like, they
Well,
really,
mine too.
but they're really playing with like the whole like first season. Like this is the typical wife from the. Actually, when you think of
Yes.
the NASA wives, that group of what was her name?
Marge?
Oh,
Marge. Thank you.
Marge?
Yeah.
Me and Marge.
Yes, I never even put that together. Yeah, that's
When Deke died.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Marge had more of a personality than Amber, but
I think Amber's gonna get there. She's just early in her.
I think once Amber gets crossed over by this guy too many times, she's gonna just,
She's gonna turn into a
completely go
Tracy.
nuts.
She's gonna
they
join
should
that.
definitely not have a kid if
It's
they
gonna be
could
Tracy
avoid it.
2.0.
Anyway, so we see that Danny is about to open up to Amber. He's about to tell her about everything with his alcoholism, and he's about to start confronting his issues. And
But it sounds like she's already aware of that because she was involved when he crashed the car.
was he?
They
Yeah.
said that. Yeah.
Or was
Oh,
she?
Amber
yeah.
is there for you.
So that was like 10 years ago. Like that was a long. They said that was a long time ago. So how long has he been dating Amber?
That's a
You
good
know.
question. I don't know.
Anyway, so but then all of a sudden, guess who's on the phone?
What is he about to tell her though?
I think he's about to say, I have a problem with alcoholism. I'm been
Right. He's
pulled
not
off
going to
of-
tell her about the girl in the pool.
Maybe,
I'm
maybe
not
not.
sure he wouldn't have. He
Maybe
would've,
not.
yeah.
Maybe not. I maybe he
But-
was. I don't know.
But just coming clean about the alcoholism because I assumed she knew that already. But
Yeah, I don't
guess
know. I'm not
maybe
sure if she does, or maybe she
Okay.
not to the extent. that
I
it
think
is-
she's ignoring it.
Well,
more than
I think he
Okay.
was going to tell her about Mars too, and then he was going.
Right.
right. All these things like I need to clean up my life and sort out my issues and whatever, and like what Danielle Poole wanted him to do, but then who's on the phone? Good old Al Baldwin,
The devil.
the devil. So,
Who doesn't
Remember,
get Prada.
Gordo used to want to do the right thing too, and then would always do the wrong thing.
right. And then we see Ed Baldwin on the phone. He's like, I heard about that pulling your flight status at NASA. Jesus Christ, you can't even drink and womanize anymore over there. What's
You
What the
can't even
hell's-
fly spaceships half loaded. What's going on?
what the hell has happened to this world?
Yeah.
Come over and fly with me, Danny. Let's go to Mars.
You want to
You
get
know-
drunk with me in the cockpit? Come on, let's go.
So this is. I mean, guys, you've watched it more than I have, but I'm thinking that eventually Ed will cross the line with Dev. And
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's gonna
And what?
happen.
I don't know exactly what, but like I mean, Dev's got a very different sensibility than Ed, and
Very.
different vision.
They're gonna at least clash. Yeah.
Dev-
He's
Dev's-
rich. He's a rich guy, so he's
Dev's
insane.
very different than I guess even Margot or like any of those characters, right? Like so. But anyway, so Danny, he was about to sort out his life, but then Ed throws him this opportunity, if you want to call it that. And Danny says, "Okay, sure. And now I don't have to tell my wife what's been going on in my life or
I
anything.
don't have to
right?
tell her about the alcoholism.
I don't
That'll
have to
move
tell-
with us.
Yeah.
The cops last night, all that. I can kind of not tell her any of those things and move on." So
I could just go tell her something she already knows.
right, I'm going. Hey, guess what? I'm going to Mars, and she's like, "Yeah, I know." And he's
That-
like, "But
In this episode too, though, I noticed they casted this Danny Stevens really well. He looks like Gordo.
He's creepy
in certain.
too.
Yeah.
they keep throwing that in the dialogue. I think because they're aware of
Yeah.
that. They're like, "Man,
Well,
we really
I
lucked
mean,
out with this actor."
I've been saying that for for whenever he got introduced. 'Cause,
Mhm.
like, it's a great casting.
Yeah.
I
Man,
think
he's
the actor
so
who plays
unlikable.
Danny though, he switches pretty quickly too, which is kind of nice.
Well, he does the same mannerisms, the same facial expressions. It's really good. It every now and then I catch it and I'm like, holy shit! Like that could be his son.
Son.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, very well done.
Then we clip to a scene where Danielle is speaking to Ed about his choice to bring Danny Stevens onto his team, and she was like, "This is a bad idea. I took him off flight status for good reasons. You're allowing him to go to Mars on your team without looking into any of this, right?"
There's no
And-
consequences.
And Ed's not hearing it. Ed doesn't care.
And he just walks away from her.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh.
you're just
Well, she's on the other team, guys. Like she's the enemy.
Well, and I think it's also a portrayal thing for him. He's so full of himself with his ego that when he lost his spot, that's that.
he's got something to prove. I think a little bit.
No,
I'm not old.
I like this. I like this and the scene with Kelly and her when they talk about Ed and Danny's like, we've been friends forever. Like, yeah, we're fighting, but it's fine. Like, it's all fine. Like,
Yeah,
and I
right.
love that they're still friends. Like, this didn't.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
destroy-
They just
they're
disagree.
so close and they're so tight that even Ed in his tantrums could not break that. Like, she's
No.
loyal. She's
Yeah,
Like,
because
yeah,
remember
yeah.
the last episode how we were all on Ed for like saying those things to Danielle
Yeah.
about how she only got the position because she's black or woman. He doesn't even say it directly, but he kind of implies
but they're
it.
kind of back to where they were by this
Yeah.
episode.
And
Yeah.
and this idea that like they've been through a lot together, and it kind of goes
Yeah.
beyond. These
And
little
she's
things.
still mad. She plays it. I think she's still mad at him.
Oh
but-
yeah, definitely, and
you
she
know.
deserves to be. But but it's more anyway. So
guys, is Helios in Houston? I was wondering that. I guess it is.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yes,
I guess
it is.
they've taken over they seem to have taken over the offices that used to be Polaris. Is kind of what's
Yeah.
happened here. Anyway, so then what does Ed do? He comes into the meeting room here at Helios. He's like, guess what? I got a whole new person on our team. I haven't talked to anybody else about this. And look who it is. Danny Stevens for the MSAM pilot. And everyone's clapping, but we see like this look
Can
of
you go
horror.
back?
on
2, please. One more. The picture down at the bottom there. I thought that was Molly for a minute.
No.
I was like, oh, Molly's going to be on this crew.
Similar hair.
So,
Similar
yeah,
hair.
I got all excited for a second, but I'm now disappointed. Sorry.
Anyway, so everyone's clapping except for Karen, who then has to kind of like fake it. It's great.
Yeah, that was
she's
so
just like-
good.
She's like, "Oh, I'm
Dude,
so happy."
startled, like, oh shit, yeah, no, people can't know that I'm not happy about this.
Especially Ed. who's in
Especially Ed.
Yeah.
This is the best thing ever. Yeah.
Another little detail just before that I love is Joel Kinnaman is, I don't think he's got the broken leg anymore in this, but he
But he's
still
still
walks
limping.
around like such an old man.
Yeah.
It's such
Well,
a good detail in this show.
He's supposed
Just
to
the
be
way
like
he
in his-
walks in
in
this
his-
season.
He's supposed to be like in his 60s.
He's in his
60s.
60s, yes.
Yeah.
62.
But Joel
Yeah.
Kinnaman, like I think he's a little bit older than me in real life.
Maybe in his 40s.
Yeah. So so it's how he hunches over. It's his
Yeah.
posture. It's certain
Yeah.
things he does. The
It's
wardrobe
really good.
and whatever too. But yeah, and in season 4 he's even older. So
Yeah.
you know. Anyway,
So Joel now is 45 as of right now. So
okay.
This was
So
a
he's
couple years ago.
He was
so
42
then-
when he filmed this. 41.
41, 42.
So he's the
probably,
same
yeah.
age I am now. He was the. I'm
God,
42
I hate
now.
when
So
He was born in 79.
People are younger than me.
He was born in 79.
not much younger than you, really. But anyway, so we head back to London for this ongoing romance with Sergey and Margot. As we see, there's a 3-person panel here with it's Dev, Sergey, and Margot. I would have loved to have seen that if there was like a DVD extra or something. But you know. Anyway, Dev is kind of wowing the crowd here at the conference, and we see like Margot's getting shrimp or something at the buffet and just shooting daggers over at him. You know, is making her life hell, making her launch this Mars mission in 2 years. And then who's there? It's Sergey with some drinks for Margot.
Why is she pissed off to see him?
She's not pissed off to see Sergey. It's Dev.
Well,
That's just
yeah, but she's
her
Demeanor.
baseline.
Yes.
Yeah.
resting bitch
resting.
face.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're kind of leering at Dev from across the room. They cheers to taking out the competition, right? Their mutual enemy is they're going to be working against them as they represent the 2 governmental agencies versus the private sector one. And Dev charming people around the room. Some time passes later, and Sergey and Margot have been, I guess, pounding drinks for hours at this point, and they're a little, loaded perhaps. And then Margot's just like, it's last call, so she's like, "Bring the bottle, and we'll come up to my room." She's
Finally, Margot makes a move.
she's like, "Bring a whole bottle of booze, and then maybe." And so, as they head up there. They go to Margot's room. Sergey asks to use the restroom, washroom, and then she's like looking in the mirror at herself here as Sergey's there in the bathroom.
She's like, who did this to my hair?
Yeah. Sergey's looking in the mirror in the bathroom too, kind of while this is happening.
I think he's actually trying to talk to the guy that's behind the mirror.
Is he?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so then
It's a Russian suite, though, so there's a good chance.
Well, it's either.
Oh, no, this is her suite, isn't it?
This is her suite. So either Sergey's wearing a wire or the room is bugged, right? I don't know which one it is. Anyway,
Probably
this
both. It's probably
is this
both
the
been bugged
Watergate?
for 9 years.
Yeah. And so then she's like, "I would like you to kiss me, Sergey." And then this was so awkward.
I actually really liked that moment where she was just like, he was talking and she's like, "I'd really like you to kiss me."
Yeah. Let's get on with the kissing. This has been 9 years of foreplay. We really need to go.
She's finally just fucking
She's like,
had it.
I'm going to at least get to second base.
Yeah. And
I
Sergey
enjoyed
doesn't quite know how to do it. He kisses
that. Oh, he
her
was
hand.
still so slow. She said, "Kiss me." It took him fucking 10 minutes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
Took off her
he was
glasses.
Listen, he was being a tender lover, man. Don't be mean.
That is not what she was wanting.
No, she did not want tender.
That is true. That was not yeah.
They get down on the couch here, and they're starting to, and then he's
Everything
like,
about this is awkward.
the whole thing like falls apart very quickly. Where he's like,
Yeah, he saw her hair. That's what happened.
right, and she's like, well, if you don't want to do this, whatever. He's like, well, the thing is, I can't stop thinking about the nuclear reactor, Margot, the nuclear reactor of my engine. She's like, you're thinking about work right now, And
Is
like,
she
this-
really this stupid?
Yes.
Lots of people
naive?
are.
I think would be the
It's not stupidity, but it's more like
Not stupidity.
she can't read him. She doesn't really get
but
what
9 years she's been interacting with this guy.
right.
Like, you would think she would clue in at this point, but I guess not.
Not yet. Not until right now, where he's like, "Come on, tell me about the nuclear reactor. If I don't do it, I'm under all this pressure." And she's like, "No, I'm not giving you that. Like that's not part of our arrangement.
That could be weaponized.
That can be weaponized. That can be military thing and whatever." And then she's like, then all of a sudden there's like the knock at the door. The knock, who's at the door? And Sergey knows who's at the door, but
Oh, the fucking knocking was driving me nuts. They did such a good job with the audio.
kind
on
of like
this.
the Strange New
But then
Worlds
when-
finale with the knock.
But she keeps saying, "Who is it? Who is it?" And then she
Yeah.
turns to him and just quietly says, "Who is it?"
Who
Yeah.
is it?
Like,
As in, who's
Yeah.
at the door right now.
Like, if she wants to call anybody, this would be the moment to grab the phone and try to call the police.
Yeah.
I don't know who
But-
you could call, but
but they have her, right? They call the police.
I don't know, no matter what. Yeah.
She's done. They call the FBI. She's done. She's a
Right.
traitor.
she's
Yeah.
a traitor.
She's
She-
done.
like,
Yeah.
She could even be executed for treason, right? So,
Oh yeah,
actually.
it's still to this day treason is still executable technically.
right. We leave the Sergei Margot. We go to the outpost. We see the sign here, the original outpost serving astronauts and their families since 1960. As Kelly comes in to meet up with her parents after 15 months in Antarctica, one thing we didn't touch on when she was talking to Danielle earlier, she was like, "You didn't stop to talk to your parents before you came to NASA?" She's like, "No."
Yeah.
Right?
Why would she? They didn't talk to her before they all decided they were going to Mars.
That's true. Tit for tat, if you will. Anyway, so there's a reunion here. They're going to have their old family spaghetti dinner together.
Yeah, but it looks like they got a new chef who actually can make a spaghetti sauce that isn't a runny mess. So maybe
Barely.
Still
might
not
be
good.
better.
And
It doesn't-
Ed does
Yeah.
not know
Still
how to
doesn't
eat
look good.
spaghetti. Like, what is
What is he
wrong with
doing?
this guy?
This is part of his old man performance. Don't worry. So it's commitment to the craft.
He's a method actor.
Yeah.
He's got to get a better method.
Right. But during the course of this dinner, Kelly reveals, I'm not coming with you on Helios. I'm going to stay with NASA and go to Mars on the Mars mission. And Ed's just like, what? Huh? How could you do such a thing? But then he gets kind of quiet, and we think he's
She knew exactly what to say to him, though.
Yep.
I want to do it on my own. I want to.
Yeah, and just because you're ready
Yeah.
to leave NASA doesn't mean I'm ready to leave NASA. And he kind of thinks,
Yeah,
about
it doesn't
that,
have to be a family affair.
right? And then he's like, okay, all good. He gives her a hug, says, your country's lucky to have you, and all that. So,
Yeah, he just wanted his, spaghetti. Just let me.
yeah, he's like, I'm
I'm
really
fine.
into the spaghetti right now. So they go back to eating spaghetti, and all
Well,
these pe-
whatever you call what he's doing with spaghetti, yes.
and they're all the tension is all gone. So, but he says,
That's what spaghetti does.
But there's this competitiveness here with Ed's like, we're going to beat your ass to Mars and all that, right? It's kind of also left. Back over to Margot, who's now, I guess, opened the door, and the KGB people here who show they have all these surveillance photos of Margot meeting secretly with Sergei over the years at various times, giving information. She's like, I don't care about these photos, and you're not going to blackmail me. It doesn't matter.
Does she understand what position she's in right now?
No, I think she thinks.
I don't think she
just like-
does.
no, but I agree with you. I think she is so controlling at NASA. She can
Yeah,
just.
she thinks she's controlling this. Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize these people are psychos.
Yeah. But she does very shortly after this.
Not really, though. Even once they start choking him, she kind of doesn't react at first. Like she kind of
Yeah.
goes like, "Hey, what are you?"
Well, she's mad at
doing?"
him, I think, too. Right?
Yeah, but she kind of goes
True.
like her reaction.
But I'm not sure you're mad enough to watch the guy get killed. Like,
No.
you know what I mean?
Quite frankly, if I were Margot, I would be. I'd be like,
Really?
fucking kill him. I don't give a shit. After this shit.
Yeah, what,
Fuck
yeah, what
that guy.
evidence would you
He's
have?
your
After a
guy,
9
fine, kill him.
a 9-year con,
Yeah.
like you know, like
About,
Yeah.
He was thinking about
So
work
just a
when
note,
we're
don't
finally
screw
making
over
out.
Kevin. That's a good note.
don't play with his heart.
Good note.
Don't play with Kevin's heart.
Yeah.
You break that heart, he'll break
games
something
with-
else.
Yeah. So Margot says stop, and then this KGB guy who has sort of an English accent, kind of, I guess.
They always do this in every movie and TV show. For some reason, Russian people always have British accents and Germans.
Except
You know,
in James
I don't-
Bond. They don't do it in James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond's the one because they're British. You know, they can't make the bad guys British in that
Right.
because they're already British. The good guys are British.
So
You
Margot
know it's
says I'm not.
notorious when they're
I don't.
business
Margot
cards
doesn't
and
want to
they
give
have
the
that.
plans for the nuclear reactor to the Soviets, but the Russian guy says, "Think about it. You just watched Sergei get choked out. Here's my card. It's very ominous with just this
You have a day.
phone
You
number.
have one day.
You have one day to consider it." And then they kind of pull Sergei out of the room here and leave Margot with this knowledge. As we transition away, I guess Margot flying back, he's already flown back home and like is back in America now, and looking at the elevator, she's just kind of like stunned as she's like just dealing with the processing all of the implications here. You know, the Soviet guy said, "You're a traitor to your country. You can't go to the authorities. You can't. You know, that's not even an option for you."
And the truth is, she probably never even thought that.
Yeah.
This is probably the first time she's thinking, "Oh my God, I am a traitor. Like I have been giving."
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Or she's been getting away with it for so long that like she was thinking about as saving lives. Like originally she wanted the brand not to blow up, right, and
Right.
kill them all,
Yeah.
right? So she's doing that out of somewhat of good motivations or intentions.
Totally good motivations.
Yeah.
She's not a traitor like because she hates her country. It's good motivation. She wants space exploration. It's all about space exploration.
Right.
But-
and the Soviets are less of a rival. Like they are a rival, but she doesn't want them to die like on launch,
Right.
you know, and things
Yeah.
like that. Like that goes against her code. So anyway, as Margot gets back to NASA, her staff tells her, "Oh, this Bill's in the office waiting to talk to you," which she's a little not sure why.
She was not happy about that. Like, I felt so bad for Bill, but I mean,
Bill's looking at the pictures on her desk. Margot with the President Gary Hart, Margot with the space shuttle, Margot with Reagan, Margot as a young woman who was working there at NASA in season one of
Margot with Warner Braun.
Werner's not in this photo, but Bill's in the photo
Yeah.
at the far end here, right? And so
There's
he's
probably
like, "Hey,
some sauerkraut around there too.
yeah, he talks about the sauerkraut and that stupid prank and how they thought they were clever and they were a bunch of idiots. And, it's kind of an interesting moment. Margot is checked out on this side of this conversation. Bill's here to, say, I've been offered this job at Helios. It's a lot of money and no offense, but I need a new start. And Margot can't even look at him. barely knows he's in the room. And he goes, "Okay, well, so long. See you later." And that's kind of the end of that.
like I get it. I get it. She's dealing with a lot of shit. It just felt bad for Bill.
Oh yeah. Poor guy. She looks over at that photo too, and then she stares at it for a moment here, and is I guess kind of trying to think about who she was then versus who she is now.
Yeah.
Who she's
And how much
become.
hair she had.
No, she had a lot more hair, but there's, like
She was idealistic. She was
more
like a
idealistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
she's
it
been-
is her idealism that led her astray as well.
true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's that. I mean, that's how intelligence works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks they're the bad guy or that they're doing anything wrong.
Right. Until you see how that information can be weaponized or used for other means.
I'm not sure you're gonna leave that notorious card just sitting out in the open with the phone number sitting there.
It's not
Nobody
conspicuous
questions
at all.
Margot. Nobody questions Margot. She's in charge.
Right. So she's staring at the card, trying to think about what her next move's going to be. What is she going to do? We go to Bill's office, who's taking down his NASA's certificate of achievement, resulting in the whole thing where he peed his pants. He got a certificate back then for the heroic act of it all, right?
Who signed it? Who signed it?
Warner Brothers.
Harold Weisner.
Was it Harold Weisner?
Werner.
It wasn't Von Braun. He wasn't in
Actually, it did. Actually, from like that angle, it did look like that. And then when I looked closer at it, I'm like, oh no, it's not that.
Aleda signed it. He got that last week.
So yeah, Aleda's here.
5 years, and all I got was this piece of paper.
You know what? Credit to Aleda for not saying that she was offered the job ahead of him.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
she doesn't tell him that. Doesn't tell him that. And he was just like, he's so happy because like Karen says, you're a get. You are such a get. And like makes him feel wanted and important and valuable to Helios. So he's excited.
He is.
And just shame on NASA for letting their people feel discredited and and
I don't think this is NASA's fault. I think this is probably more Margot's fault.
Margot is NASA.
At this point.
And I like here though, she calls him Peanut. And it shows that they've bonded over this thing that happened, like that they were fighting.
Like 9 years later, he's okay with her saying that to him.
And
probably the only person that he's okay saying that.
Yeah.
But there's it seems to be no reaction on Margot's behalf as far as, okay, Helios is coming and poaching all my people now. Shouldn't they do something?
Yes.
No, she's just worrying about her own ass
She
at
is
this point.
preoccupied.
And understandably so. But Bill's a little bit sad to be leaving NASA, and he kind of wishes Aleda luck, and she's going to be a great flight director very soon, and gives her a nice little send off. Then Bill takes off his pocket protector and his NASA badge here. It's a little bit of a transition for good old Bill Strausser. We then see Aleda working late, looking at the photo of her kid. She's like, I have a family, right? I have this photo to prove it.
She's not in the photo.
She's not even in the photo. But she's working late hours, as we see here. Like, she's going to put in those extra hours, to the point where you see this transition where, like, the lights turn off and it's just her working forever, right? And that probably went on for some time as we get our 2 years later transition. It is now 1994. And look who it is. Aleda is the boss of the whole flight deck. She is now the flight director.
A question for the people who have gone ahead. We do get to see more of Molly, right?
Molly will be back. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she's
because I'm like 2 years goes by, we don't see anything further.
We have to go back and pull people out of retirement.
Ah, there you go.
You'll see. So anyway, so Aleda's now in that role. There's all these protests happening outside the Johnson Space Center. Some of these extras were terrible.
One of them said "fuck the moon" for some reason.
Yeah,
I love that song.
I don't understand. What are these protesters protesting? Does anyone understand? I don't get it.
Good background actors. I don't know.
Some of them are really bad. These background actors.
This one here.
I like the picture of the moon though. That's pretty.
Some of them are like look so happy.
That's the one that says "fuck the moon" or something like that, like
or "fuck the future" maybe, or something. I don't know. Yeah, don't take away.
Yeah, see, fuck the moon.
And some guy drew a picture of the moon, but I don't know what a moon is unless you write "moon" inside. Just
right.
It looks like it could be a cookie.
You must be a NASA engineer, Dave.
That's the only way I know.
Dave's gonna get poached.
But I think it's what Clinton was saying is like we could divert money to other things on Earth that would, benefit things.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
that must be. Yeah.
Why does Carla Dunn, the reporter, look like she is about to kill me?
She looks like the Clinton's what's her name? The press secretary, not Clinton.
Trump's. Yeah, Caroline Leavitt.
Caroline Leavitt.
All she's missing is a cross.
I hope
cross
she
in
hears
10
that.
minutes
That
of
will
lying.
kill her.
Yeah.
I don't think she's watching this podcast.
I don't know.
She should.
I don't know. I don't know if we see Carla Dunn.
I think she should. I think you're right. Yeah.
We see Helios Mission Control, where they're getting ready to launch the
This
Phoenix.
scene was great. This is like gentlemen Star
folding
Trek.
tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just get little tables with computers.
They got like, you know, a keyboard and dual monitors and
You guys like waiting for like the flag, you know, gentlemen, start your engines, and they all go. Everybody's going.
right. As we see, the
It's nice to see Bill in charge.
Bill's in
Yeah.
charge. He's the flight director over there. We got Danny, who's now he's the wingman to Ed on this mission. Ed in the captain's chair. They got some pretty snazzy sweater vests to go out there with. You know?
I love this scene. I think this launch was the best out of the three.
Right. The ship's already in orbit, right? So it just has to actually start
Yeah.
thrusting towards Mars. We see that on the moon that they're launching the Mars mission.
So after seeing Helios
This is
launch,
cool.
or whatever the other ship launch, what's his name?
So-
The Helios one, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Oh, Sophia, of course. This little tiny ship that they got to spend 2 years in. And I'm going.
Well, this isn't the
poor
ship.
people.
I don't think this is, or this is not the entire ship. This is Sojourner, right? But Sojourner, I think is bigger than this.
I
Right,
hope so.
Jeff?
Yeah,
This-
this
This is just the shuttle they're taking up to Sojourner, I think.
yeah, the ship that they're going to take to Mars is bigger, but not that much bigger.
Yeah, like it's not
It's
as big as the Phoenix, but
No, NASA's ship to Mars is a lot smaller.
But we see, so Danielle's on her way. She's taking off here from the moon and heading on their way. And then meanwhile, the Soviets are launching, I guess, from the ground on Earth, in comparison to the other two. And
Well, they got those
Margot's-
new nuclear engines.
Yeah, I wonder
That's
how they
right.
got those working in such record time. Maybe someone helped them. As we see, they are launching their mission as well.
Also,
Courtesy of Soviet
can I-
State TV.
Can I just say something about Margot? To pretend as if Margot would not have been monitored, would not have been spied on.
By her own
is-
government, you mean?
Well,
Yeah, oh,
yeah, that's when they
100%.
were knocking on the door. I thought it was the FBI, not Russians.
Or CIA or something.
Or
There's
CIA,
no
yeah.
way they would not be monitoring her, especially if she's having all of these like private meetings with the Soviet guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
like
Well-
I
Well,
just
she's
don't-
ordering records,
right.
Jeff. She's not going anywhere.
She told them to send that record back, if you don't recall.
Maybe it was that was the long
I feel like
con.
the NASA director would be watched.
Oh, 100%. For
Oh,
sure. Especially in this timeline when like it's
Yeah.
so important. You know? Like it's maybe not as important in our timeline as it would have been in this one.
But guess who the president is, everyone? The president's on the phone, and she wants to talk to Margot, or they want to talk to Margot. Who is it? Is it Bill Clinton? Is it Ellen Wilson? No, it's Ellen Wilson. She's been elected president in this timeline, and that is also revealed.
Whoop-de-doo.
First
Do you
woman
know what I
president.
really loved about this phone call? It seemed just as impersonal as all the other presidential phone calls, even though they know each other. It's
Yeah,
Yes.
she didn't say goodbye, Kevin.
impersonal.
She just hung up on her.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very formal, right? Where she is.
Well, that's because the president's phone line is monitored. Probably.
Yeah, and so Ellen Wilson in the Oval Office. That's kind of near the end, but Margot just looking at the screen, very pensive, is also the last shot, I think, before we go to credits.
Yeah.
And that is it. So thanks everyone.
It was a good episode, though.
It was things were moving, things were happening.
Yeah.
for sure. And
The torture scene was a little much, but
Oh,
it's clean. Don't get me wrong. I just think it was a little unexpected. I got jolted.
interesting. Okay, well, how about some fun?
Kevin
facts?
left. He's like, I don't even care.
How about
So,
some
so
trivia?
Dave, I'm fascinated by this whole age thing that we keep going back to with Ed. And he's 62 years old. So
Yeah.
here's some. Thank you. Here's we go. So in 1961, the median age for an astronaut was 31.
In
Okay?
1961.
61.
Okay.
But what you see is that over time it goes up. And then in 1998, John Glenn flew on a mission at 77 years old.
In 1988.
That's like Ed in season 4.
But that was that.
1998.
But that was a PR stunt. He wasn't.
He still
He
went up.
wasn't really.
He was
Well, he still
36
went up. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, he was 36 years old on his first trip. So at
there
this
was-
point,
There was that movie with like Tommy Lee Jones where they went to space.
Space Cowboys.
That was a terrible movie. Don't even talk about it.
Yeah, that was a terrible.
So then in 2021, there was a guy named Oliver Damon who became the youngest person in space at 18.9 years old. And then Anastasia Mayers, who followed in 2023 at 18.87. They don't have a lot of experience in the world. I don't know why they're so young. And then in 2021, William Shatner at 90 years and a half went into space.
Wait,
Like he went up and down. Like that's
That didn't count at all.
he went to the
So did
hotel.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry,
Space.
he like dipped his toe in space for 10 seconds and then came back.
Doesn't matter. He was still
Even
there.
he didn't like it.
He was like, I can die now.
But yeah, like I don't know. Like, would you want an experienced commander? I also think about that movie, Deep Impact. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And I remember like Robert Duvall's character. He's supposed to be like the old sage, expert
surgeon.
astronaut, and these young hip ones who just want to be on like TV and with
I think I was watching Armageddon at the same time.
they came out the same year. So
I don't think I've ever seen it.
there wasn't. You never seen
Oh, no.
Deep Impact or
Deep Impact was a better one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow, I'll have to watch
It's
it.
more science.
Deep Impact? I think is the better movie. Although Armageddon, okay,
They're both bad movies.
they're great.
They're very good.
Well, They're summer blockbuster movies.
Morgan Freeman was the president and the story in Deep Impact. That was good enough.
And that random Michael Bay guy is the president in Armageddon, who gives that weird speech at the end. So he's kind of a.
You
face
mean
to
Michael
face.
Bay?
He's not Michael Bay, but he's like cast by Michael Bay. So.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry, Adam. I don't mean to derail you.
Oh, it's okay. I just was interested in to see what the average. So anyway,
Like-
today, the average is now closer to 45 versus
Okay.
30.
older than I would've thought.
1961.
So you saying there's a chance for me to make it to space?
Yeah, in the next couple
No.
of years, sure.
If I
I love that. I love how your brother's got your back there. No.
No, I
Dude,
got-
you ran down the street and hurt your calf. You're
Yeah.
not going to space.
Yeah. And you couldn't even make a phone call.
I did, I made the phone call. I
He
eventually.
didn't have his phone.
I was curious. So the question is like, was there ever a non-scientist or a non-military person gone to space? And the answer for the American anyway is no. Everybody's had some kind of.
No,
Good
Challenger
job,
didn't
dude.
make it into space.
Didn't we establish Sally Ride didn't have any military though?
She didn't have military, but she was still a scientist.
She was a scientist.
Oh, you mean like a civilian, like no poets?
Well, I was just going to say, there's no poets gone to space yet.
Except, yeah, Katy Perry.
Except for Katy Perry. And she's so connected with love right now.
Oh, Kevin, they're going quiet. They're going quiet. Didn't you see this story?
No.
They're going to be less public about their affection for each other right now.
Are
So
they
does-
actually dating?
Who are we talking about?
Katy Perry?
Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau?
Yes,
Oh,
Are they
did.
dating?
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, they went on a date. I don't know. I didn't know it was official.
I don't know. I
Katy
don't
Katy
care.
Perry was also married to what's his name, right?
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom.
No, the other
No,
one. Russell Brand.
Russell Brand.
For like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she was. So her taste in men might be like lacking, but
So here's another fact. Only 676 people have actually been in space.
That sounds
That's
about
pretty
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
And that includes the private ones like Katy Perry and William Shatner.
Right.
yeah. Well, there's still
None
a
of
lot
us
of.
have been there yet.
So lots of less useful ones.
So,
So
Dave,
actually-
definitely no chance. You're
To
going.
your point, though, only out of that 676, only 643 have reached the Kármán line, which is the internationally recognized line that
Space.
is space versus not space, which is 100
Yeah.
kilometers.
And that's in Katy Perry qualified past that line.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I
they
don't know.
did. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
Oh, Blue Origin? Yeah, I think they did get past that.
So I'll leave it there. I mean, look, you talked about Clinton. The fact is, Clinton was never a NASA supporter. He was cutting budget through them. personally, I think that's pretty short-sighted. I wish they would have kept it going and put more money in back then versus now. But happy Artemis is proceeding, and hopefully we get to the moon in our lifetime. Not the
They're
moon,
they're
Mars.
sending a Canadian on that mission, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
A Canadian on the moon. Who would have thought?
Mars.
Or
Oh,
Mars.
to the moon first. Yes.
Chris Hadfield's writing books now, so he doesn't got time for space.
No, he's gonna
All right,
be too old, but maybe not.
Yeah.
You told me that you could go 90.
But it's a
He's not
long
even
trip
close to
to
90.
Mars. Like, what is it? 2 years or something?
2 years, yeah.
Well, let's give our rating here, everyone, for the episode and put a score on. So, Jody, you're gonna go first tonight.
All right. I was originally going to give this an 8, but I'm going to knock it down to a 7 because of Margot's hair.
Okay.
There's other reasons, but I'm just going to blame it on that.
All right, that works. Adam.
This is a solid 9 for me. The pace was a little slower, but didn't mind it. But I really don't like Danny Stevens. He's becoming annoying to me, like you wouldn't believe.
He saved the Polaris Hotel. Remember?
He's
That's the
done.
most annoying thing about him.
All right.
Old news. Old news.
I also thought this episode was really good. I think it's, even though it's mostly talking and not a ton of action or anything, like I think it really worked well. So I'm also at a 9. Kevin.
I'm gonna go 10. I fucking love this episode. This is the best one of the season so far.
Great. All right, Heather, we'll catch up with her next time. And Jeff, we need your rating for this episode.
I'm like a 7.3 on this.
Okay.
Like what?
I'm glad somebody's with me.
Like nothing happened in the episode. It's
Oh man, the ending. Gentlemen, start your engines. Like they're all going. That's great. This is good.
it was okay. It wasn't the first episode was a 10, and I can't.
What about the second episode? We didn't get your score there.
The second episode's like an 8.
Okay.
It's good.
All right, so we're averaging an 8.5 for this episode tonight. This has, the IMDb score for this episode is 7.9, which is actually a bit of a dip from the previous episodes. So,
Jody and Jeff.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we influence IMDb.
Hey, we're still averaging pretty well here. I wouldn't say this is a bad score by any means. So that is so 8.5. It's our lowest rating so far, but it's not bad by any means. All right, and we just want to look ahead to episode 4. It is called Happy Valley, and we see Kelly there, presumably on the Sojourner.
Listening to an iPod in the background.
Yes.
No,
yes,
yeah.
There's an iPod there in the background. We'll have to see how
Wait,
that
what
plays
year
in.
is?
92.
What year is this?
94 now.
Well, that's
Pretty early.
The iPod's not that old.
No, iPods weren't around then.
Oh,
They
no.
are in this timeline.
They were actually 94.
No, we were
No,
still
they weren't.
doing Sony Walkmans in '94.
What are you talking about?
The
94.
yellow sport,
I think it's
the
like
yellow
90
sport
now.
Sony Walkman.
Oh, let me look it up, but I'm almost.
I had a
positive I'm
Discman
right.
in ~94, Kevin.
2000 maybe the iPod happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be more
the
around then.
Discmans were around. Yeah, for sure.
I had a
2002,
I had a
something
Discman.
like that. Yeah, when I was in college, I think they were coming around.
2001.
Yeah.
2001.
I
the first one.
kept my Walkman a long time.
Now,
Discmans
I will give
suck.
them credit. If you look at that screenshot, it is definitely one of the first gens. It's a first or a second gen.
Yeah, I remember those with like the slide.
But they did add something to
And-
it to make it, I guess, not look like an iPod as much.
And they are NASA, so it's they could have
Yeah.
it before everybody else.
But that's one of the old school clips.
I watched the Ghost Rider movie on one of those. They were awesome.
You watch a movie on that? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Not on that one, but later
maybe
on.
not on that one, but on one similar. Like I
color
had
one.
When they went to
the
the
color
screen,
one
like-
that had the clicky wheel and everything, and a 2-inch screen. Yeah,
Right. Those weren't around very long before I
I was watching movies on my PSP back then with its glorious 4.5-inch screen.
We thought we were so advanced.
I was watching videos on VHS tapes back then. So.
maybe not Adam. He wasn't advanced, but everyone else.
In 2001, I had a DVD player in 2001.
I had a VHS player at the U-Haul where I worked, the Mainway storage there, and we watched a lot of like used rentals from Blockbuster. Like they were like $6 to get the VHS.
Oh, there you go. I miss those days.
Throw back to those days. Okay, well, guys, so that is our podcast for tonight. Thanks for being with us.
But don't we have other shows?
We do, Jody. Well, most recently, you hosted a Trivial Debates episode with myself, Heather, and Sean Farrick from Trek Culture.
I have never laughed as hard as I did that episode.
That was a lot of fun. We did that back on September 7th. Go check that out if you haven't seen that already. Also, if you didn't know, we've been covering all of Season 3 of Strange New Worlds. We just wrapped up the finale on last Thursday. It was called New Life and New Civilizations. You can go check out our review of that episode. And,
I don't think either one of things happened in that episode. But anyway.
It's the best part right there is that uniform.
It's not bad. And then now that we are done Strange New World Season 3, we are coming back with our reviews of Star Trek The Next Generation. We are now going into Season 3 of that show, starting with Episode 1, titled Evolution. And we'll be on this Thursday. Dr. Kelso. Beverly Crusher's back on the Enterprise. It's going to be great to talk all about it. I'm going to be talking with Jody, Chris Worldmind Murphy, and Chris Shaggy Vasilis will be on the panel for this episode.
Shaggy's joining us for the first time.
Yes, so that's going to be some fun. So check that out. And I think that's all I got to plug. So we'll sign off for tonight. We'll see you next time for All Mankind, and hopefully we'll catch up with Heather then. Until then, everyone, live long and podcast. Have a great night.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, Did You See This One? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on Trivial Debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.